Welcome to Camila Duo Yoga. I am Camila, and this is a feel good flow. So this flow is meant to feel good, and we're going to, well, as the name says, funky up our flow. So what I want us to keep in mind today is that this sequence is meant to be funky, fun, playful, both mentally and physically. We're going to take classical asana, traditional yoga poses, and kind of give them a twist, both to keep our mind fresh and kind of not go into this automated place where we know what's coming, and just kind of give it a twist and funky up our life a little. So I hope you enjoy. We're going to start in Sukhasana. And shins cross around the midline of the shin, feet are flexed. Taking our hands over our knees. We're going to take just a second to close our eyes and bring our awareness to our breath. Noticing if there's anywhere in the body or mind where we feel tension, and taking the breath and giving that area space. Consciously taking our breath and creating space where we need it. Whenever you're ready, blinking your eyes open, we're going to begin making big circles with our shoulders. Feel free to do it as it feels right for you, maybe a little slower. Really becoming aware if you have any tension that you're carrying in this very common place to carry tension. And now the other way. And now bringing our shoulders up to our ears and relaxing them down. We're going to make half circles with our head. So we're going to take our ear towards our shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, from one side to the other. Again, if there's any specific place that feels a little stickier, feel free to stay there a little longer, or just do it at your own pace. Remember, this is your practice. It's only for you. And we'll come back through center. Inhaling, arms up. We're going to twist over to the right. Just a gentle twist, grabbing the right knee with the left hand. Maybe looking over the right shoulder. Remember to lengthen through the crown of the head. And maybe, if it's available, we look over the right shoulder behind us. And coming back through center. And placing both hands behind us. We're going to roll our shoulders back. Lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Maybe looking up. Pushing with the hands to lift the chest a little more. And coming back through center, folding over. Remember, keeping our sits bones grounded as we reach the hands forward. And walking your hands back in, lengthening the right leg out to the side. The left foot coming inside of the right thigh. Without jamming the heel in, we just want it inside and the knee relaxed. We're going to shift the torso towards the right leg and walk our hands along the leg, reaching towards the foot, without rounding the upper back. Finding length through the crown of the head. If you reach the foot, that's fine, but that's not the main idea. And from wherever you are, we're going to leave the right hand either on the big toe or on the shin and open the chest up towards the left, reaching the left arm forward. Coming back through center, placing the left hand behind the left sits bone. We're going to reach your right arm forward and behind us, pushing the hips forward, coming onto the shin, opening the heart, opening the chest, pushing the hips forward and up, and coming back through center. Once again, coming through Sukhasana, but this time we're going to switch legs. The leg that was in front goes behind. If you don't remember, it's usually going to be the side that feels a little awkward because it's our non-dominant side. And just as we started, we're going to do a couple neck release stretches. We're going to grab the left side of the head with the right hand, pulling the ear towards the shoulder, just gently with the same weight of the arm, releasing the whole left side of the neck. And grabbing behind the head, pulling the chin in at a diagonal in towards the right side of the chest. Releasing the head, coming back through center, other side, grabbing the right side of the head with the left hand. And shifting, grabbing the back of the head, pulling the chin in towards the left side of the chest. And coming back through center. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, twist over to the left, grabbing the left knee with the right hand, twisting gently. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, maybe twisting a little deeper. Feeling the grounding through the sits bones. And coming back through center. Placing the hands behind you, rolling the shoulders back, looking up, lifting the heart, opening, broadening the collarbones. Coming back through center, walking your hands forward, folding over your legs. Sits bones reach down towards the mat as the hands reach forward. And walking your hands back in, this time lengthening the left leg out for Janu Shirshasana. Shifting the torso over to the left leg, folding over, walking your hands over towards the foot. Crown of the head lengthens forward. And keeping the left hand either on the shin if it reaches or the big toe, opening the chest up towards the ceiling, reaching the right hand forward. Coming back through center, placing the right hand behind the right sits bones, reaching the left arm behind you, pressing the sits bones forward. Inhale. And release everything down towards the mat. This time we're going to open our legs to a wide angle, seated pose. And we're going to walk our hands forward, making sure that all toes remain looking up so they don't pigeon toe in or open up out behind us. Pushing through the heels, feet are flexed, and we lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale. And coming all the way back up, bringing the bottoms of our feet together, Baddha Konasana. Again, playing around with if either the heels are coming closer in or closer out. It stretches different parts for some of us. Depending on our bodies, one feels a little better than the other. So feel free to do your own version as you fold forward, keeping a long spine. And wherever you are, coming back up, keeping the right leg bent. You're just going to bring the knee in front of the pelvis, in front of the belly button. And the left foot's going to come outside of the right thigh. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, you're going to place both hands outside of the left leg onto the left side of the mat. We're going to bend the elbows and just bow down briefly. Coming back up into the twist. So bending the elbow, pushing the elbow against the left thigh as maybe you look behind you. And coming back through center. Other side, placing the left leg onto the mat, placing the right foot outside of the left thigh. Inhale, arms up, placing both hands onto the right side of the mat. Bowing down just briefly. Coming back up into your twist. Bending the elbow, pushing the elbow slightly against the thigh to find length through the crown of the head and twist a little deeper. And come back through center. Unraveling the legs, we're going to meet in tabletop position. Hands are shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart. Coming through your rounds of cat-cows. Feel free to do it your own version of what feels right for you today. But begin to align movement with breath. Feeling as the breath guides the movement. And if you're doing just cat-cows, maybe now you'll move from side to side, taking the elbow to the same hip, elbow to the same hip, alternating sides. So we begin to bring all the different movements to the spine. And we'll meet in a neutral tabletop position. We're going to come into a extended puppy pose or heart melting pose. We're going to walk our hands forward, letting the heart melt onto the ground. If this feels very deep, feel free to walk your hands even farther out so you make the angle in the back a little smaller. If you are very bendy in your chest and shoulders, then you can keep your hips over your knees. Feel free to stay here, or you can lengthen the right leg out to the right side. There's a lot going on. Try not to resist it. Try to be present with it and have fun with it. If it doesn't feel nice, then go back to where you were. Walking your hands in, keeping the right leg extended. Hands into tabletop. We're going to lengthen the torso up towards the ceiling. I'm going to shift this way so you guys can see me. You're going to walk the right hand along the right leg, lengthening the left arm towards the right foot. Maybe looking up. And come back through center, planting the left hand in the same line as the knee. Reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. Pushing your hips forward, making sure you're not dipping into them. You're going to lift the right leg up. Feel free to stay here, or you can bend the leg, grabbing the back foot, and push the foot against the hand, opening the shoulder, opening the quad. And same way as you came into it, release. Lengthen the right arm up, right leg back, and come back up through center. Coming into your tabletop position. Reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, opening and twisting towards the right. Left hip crease reaches back. And you're going to thread the right arm under the left, placing the back of the right shoulder onto the mat. Relaxing the side of the head. Again, feel free to stay here or feel free to lengthen the left leg out to the side. Same thing as you did in the same way. So the leg is in the same line as the hip. And release here, feeling the opening in the back of the right shoulder. And come back through center, pushing yourself back through tabletop. Other side. So we're going to walk our hands back into heart melting or puppy pose. If you extended your leg on the other side, you'll do so on this side. Lengthening the left leg out this time. Observe what's going on. Get curious. Have fun with it. Try it, and if it doesn't feel nice, then don't do it. Keeping your leg extended if it's extended. Walking your hands into tabletop position. Lengthen the torso up. Again, feel free to do it at your own pace. If you didn't have your leg extended, extend it now. Walking the left hand along the left leg, reaching the right arm towards the left side. Lengthening the right side of the body. And come back to center, planting the hand onto the mat, lengthening the left arm up, lifting the leg up towards, so at the same height as the hip. Bending the knee, looking for the foot behind you as you push the foot against the hand, opening the chest, the quad, the front of the hip. And release the foot, slowly lengthening it out, coming back from where you came from. Once again, meeting in tabletop position. This time reaching the left arm up towards the ceiling, twisting open towards the left, and threading the left arm under the right, placing the back of the left shoulder onto the mat, the side of the head. And if you lengthen the leg on the other side, you'll lengthen the right leg out this time. Slowly pushing yourself back through center, tabletop position, lengthening one leg at a time back, coming into plank pose, holding here for 5 breaths, beginning to create heat through the body so we can really open and lengthen the body. And shifting the hips up towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. Take a minute or so in your down dog to play around with whatever feels nice here. So either bending the knees or maybe coming from side to side, opening the hips, whatever you feel like doing before we settle in your down dog. Last couple of seconds, and whenever you're ready, settle into your steady and into your still down dog. From Adho Mukha, down dog, shift forward back into plank pose. Everyone's going to place our knees onto the mat. We're going to place our chest between our hands, opening the chest, the heart, and sliding through baby cobra. Elbows are by your side, shoulders rolling back, and release down. Opening your arms towards the corner of the mat. Feel free to adjust as feels nice, and lift the heart up into super cobra. So you can stay here, or you can make it dynamic, bending one elbow, looking over the right shoulder, or the other. Feel free to explore. And we'll all meet through center, forehead back onto the mat, placing the hands next to our chest, pushing yourself back, child's pose. Active child's pose, hands push against the mat, forearms lift, placing your toes onto the mat. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Separating your feet wider than hip width, walking your hands back, dropping the hips down, Malasana, yogi squat. If your heels don't come down onto the mat, you can either place a block under your tush or a towel under your heels to support. If not, if you don't have any accessible, just stay on your tiptoes. Finding length through the crown of the head. Pushing the hips towards, the knees out to the sides to open the hips. And slowly releasing the hands down onto the ground, shifting the hips up, coming into ragdoll. Maybe we're open enough to lengthen our legs. If not, keep them bent and sway from side to side, releasing any tension that we have through the crown of the head. Making sure we're relaxing the sides of the neck, the head. And come back through center, releasing the elbows. We're going to come one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to standing. Really one vertebrae at a time, taking your time. Rounding the back. The last thing that comes up is the head, shoulders roll back, and we're going to walk towards the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, fold forward, strong, long back. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, fold forward and take the left foot back. Usually it's a little further back than you'd think. The right knee remains over the ankle, placing the back knee down, the back of the foot, lift the torso up. Tailbone draws down, finding length in the low back, placing the right hand onto the right hip. If you're very bendy, you can try placing it on the ground, lengthening the left side of the body, reaching the left arm towards the side. And come back through center, lowering your hands down next to the foot, half splits, lengthening the right leg, keeping the left hip over the left knee, so you're not shifted either forward or back. Heart lengthens forward, reaches forward. And bending the front leg, walking the hands back to the front, next to the right foot, placing the back toes down, lifting the back knee. We're going to come directly into a down dog with a figure 4 legs. So the right ankle is going to come over the left thigh. The right knee draws back. Shouldn't feel tension on the knee. You should feel the opening in the hip. The left leg can bend so you can go a little deeper. And once again, you're going to bring the right knee back into the nose, placing the foot back between your hands. Placing the back knee down, the back of the foot, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. Bending the back leg, you're going to reach for the back foot behind you. If you don't reach and you don't have a strap, just lift the torso and try looking for it this way. It's usually a little bit more accessible. If not, keep the twist, grabbing the back foot. Maybe looking behind you. The right knee stays centered. It's not splurging out to the side. And release, placing the toes onto the ground, lengthening the right arm up, keeping the twist, lift the back knee. From here, we're gonna lengthen the right leg as much as we can. If we don't have a block and we can't lengthen it that much, that's fine. We're gonna just try to lengthen it as much, opening the back of the right leg, keeping the twist, drawing the right hip back. And bend, one more time. Lengthening the right leg. And bend, placing the right hand back down, taking the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Other side, inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over, lengthening the right leg back this time, keeping the left foot between your hands. Lowering the back knee, the back of the foot. Lift the torso up. Long arms. Tailbone lengthens down so we're not crunching the low back. Hips are shifting forward slightly so you feel that opening in the front of the right hip. And now taking the left hand onto the left hip, reaching the right arm to the left side, maybe placing the hand down. If you have a block, you can place a hand on a block. And coming back through center. Placing the hands back onto the mat, lengthening the left leg half splits. Flexing the left foot so you're lengthening the back of the left leg a little deeper. And bend the front leg once again, walking the hands back towards next to the foot, placing the back foot down, lifting the back knee. We're going to step into our figure 4 down dog. Opening that left hip, left knee reaches back, bending the standing leg to go a little deeper. Maybe even pushing the heart back. And taking the left foot back between our hands. Low lunge, placing the back knee onto the mat, the back of the foot, taking your version of grabbing the back foot. So either this way or by lifting the torso up, grabbing it with both hands. Whatever version you did on one side, you do on the other. Keeping the left knee in line with the left foot. And letting go of the foot. Keeping the twist, placing the back toes down, lifting the back knee. Keeping the twist, lengthen the left leg. Hold. And bend. One more time, lengthen the left leg, keeping the twist. It's okay if you can't bend, if you can't lengthen too much. And bend once again, placing the left hand down, stepping the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. So hopefully we're a little more open now. We're going to do a couple Surya Namaskar A's. Feel free to do them at your own pace, and we'll continue from there. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands next to the feet. Step or hop back, plank or chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. And whenever you're ready, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Step or hop back through your flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Three rounds of breath in down dog. Returning to that breath that we started in the beginning of class. Feeling that grounding of the breath, the space. And on the next exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Step or float back through your vinyasa. Up dog, strong legs, knees lift. Downward facing dog. Again, 3 breaths here. And bend your knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward, reaching for the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Flow or step back. We'll meet in down dog. From down dog, bringing your right knee into the nose, placing the foot between your hands. Reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, opening the chest towards the right side. Twisting open, pushing the left hand against the mat, feeling a strong back. Keeping the twist, keeping the upper back strong, you're going to lift the torso up to face the right side of the mat. Right hip crease reaches back and revolve, walking the right hand along the right leg. Along the left leg. And come back through center warrior 1, placing the back heel down. At a 45-degree angle, the back foot, interlacing your hands behind you, opening the chest, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the heart. And humble warrior, letting the torso hang inside of the right thigh as the arms hang overhead. Again, right hip crease reaches back so you're not sticking the right hip out. And release the hands onto the mat, popping the back heel up. Keeping the leg where it is. You're going to change the foot to face the right side. And you're going to come onto the left side of the back foot. Reaching the right arm up in a dynamic way. We're going to lower the hips down and up. Lowering the hips down, reaching the arm back and up. 2 more just like that. Really pushing the hips up as you come up. Last one. Lowering all the way down. Coming all the way up, placing the hands back onto the mat, wiggling the foot between your hands. Step back through your vinyasa or we'll meet in down dog. Reaching the left knee into the nose, rounding the back, placing the foot between your hands. Keeping the right hand planted onto the mat, reach the left arm up. Left hip crease reaches back. Strong upper back. Lengthen the torso up towards the ceiling. Keeping the twist, feeling the strength in the mid back. And walking the left hand along the right leg, reaching the right arm back. Coming through warrior 1, planting the back heel down, back foot at a 45-degree angle, arms reaching up. Interlacing your hands behind you, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the heart, and surrender, humble warrior. Torso inside of the left leg as hands hang overhead. If you're very tight, your hands are probably not going to go very far from the torso. That's fine. If you have a belt and you can separate your hands a little, that's a way to help if you have tight shoulders. Releasing both hands back onto the mat, popping the back heel up, coming onto outer edge of the right foot, bringing the left foot to face out to the sort of side plank variation. We're going to lower the hips down as we reach the left arm towards the foot and lift up, lengthening the arm overhead. 3 more. Feeling the outer hip stretch when we lower. And the sides of the body engage as we lift the hips up. Last one, reaching the arm overhead, lifting the hips, planting the hand down, stepping back through your plank. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Once again, bringing the right knee into the nose. This time we're going to hold the knee into our nose and lengthen back. Knee towards the left elbow. Hold here. Lengthen the leg out towards the left, placing the edge of the right foot onto the mat, lengthening the left arm up, opening the hips. Inhale and lower down. So we're kind of coming all over the mat, funkying things up. We're going to bring the foot, both feet to face the back of the mat. We'll come back to where we were when we do the other side. And we're going to take the right foot over the left thigh, finding length through the crown of the head. Bringing the hands in front of our heart, we're going to twist over, trying to place the upper arm inside of the foot. If this is too much, feel free to just twist this way, or just find length through the crown of the head and skip the twist. Finding length through the crown of the head wherever you are. And come back through center. Placing the hands behind you, either fingertips facing forward or out to the side. Keeping the leg as is. If you don't feel that much tension in the knee, you're going to take the next step. If you feel a lot of tension, then you can plant both feet onto the mat. And you're going to push the hips up, coming into this funky reverse tabletop. As you push the knee out to open the hip and release down. Letting go, unraveling the legs, crossing the feet, placing the hands in front of you. Either step or float back through your vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. Lengthening the left leg up towards the ceiling. Bringing the knee into the nose and lengthen back. Bringing the knee into the right elbow. Hold. Lengthen the left leg out towards the right. Place the foot onto the mat and lift the right arm up towards the ceiling, lifting the hips up. Lower down onto the mat. Bringing both feet to face now, how we started. Planting both feet. This time we're going to take the left foot over the right thigh, finding length through the spine. Bringing your hands in front of your heart if it's available and twisting over towards the right, placing the upper arm inside of the foot. You can even support yourself with one hand if it feels like too much to hold yourself up this way. Wherever you are, hold here. And come back through center, either keeping your legs as they are or planting the left foot back onto the ground, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling into this funky reverse tabletop. Hold here, breathe, and slowly lower. Crossing your feet, planting the hands in front of you, step or float back, and we'll meet in down dog. From down dog, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing, hands in front of the heart. We're going to open into wide angle pose, standing pose. around a whole wingspan, so a whole arm's length of difference. Interlacing your hands behind you, opening the shoulders. If this feels very tight, you can use a belt to separate your hands a little, giving you a little more space. And you're going to fold forward, letting the hands hang overhead. Trying not to tense the shoulders or the neck to push yourself any further. And slowly, with a long spine, come all the way back up. Opening the right foot to the side. Warrior two. Opening your arms along the leg. Shoulders over the hips. And now coming into extended side angle. We're going to place a forearm onto the thigh to support ourselves. And left arm next to the ear. Palm of the left hand faces down. So you feel one line of energy from the left foot to the left fingertip. And coming back through warrior to reverse the warrior, walking the left hand along the left leg. Maybe looking up. Coming back through warrior two. Lengthening the right leg, bringing the back foot a little closer. Depending on your stance, I have very short legs. For me to really find length through the torso, I need to make it pretty much like a meter of distance. Long arms. And before we lower into Trikonasana, I want you to find the length through the crown of the head and the torso. So you don't find that the upper part of the torso is rounding. And from wherever you reach, lower the right hand inside of the right leg. Left arm reaches up. And lengthen all the way up through center. Closing the right foot. Hands in the low back. Fold forward. Wherever you reach, we're going to look. If you reach the floor with both hands, you're going to look for the left foot with the right hand. So the left shin. And the left arm's going to come behind you. Sort of twisting open as you roll the shoulders back. And come back through center. Inhale, lengthen, and come all the way back up. Warrior two on the other side. Opening the left foot. Opening the arms along the legs. Long arms. The left knee is in the same direction as the left foot. It's neither pigeoning in or splurging out. And we're going to place the left forearm onto the left thigh as we reach the right arm forward. Remember, there's that one line of energy. Almost as if you wanted to close the armpit. And reverse the warrior, walking the right hand along the right leg, reaching the left arm back. Looking up if it's available. Coming back through warrior two. Lengthen the front leg for Trikonasana. So maybe bringing that back leg a little closer. Lengthening the torso forward. When you can't lengthen any further, lower the left hand down, reaching the right arm up. Opening the chest towards that right side of the mat. And come all the way back up through center. Closing the feet so feet are parallel. Hands in the low back, folding forward once again. We're going to twist towards the other side. Grabbing the right shin with the left hand as you reach your right arm behind you. Twisting open. And come back through center. Lengthen, lifting all the way back up. Both feet meet in the front of the mat. Woo! Inhale, long arms up. We're going to bend the knees, coming all the way into a squat. Feel free to play around. Maybe you want to keep your heels onto the ground and challenge yourself that way. Or challenge your balance coming onto your tiptoes. We're going to come all the way into a kneeling position and all the way onto our backs. Bringing your hands next to your torso. Heels under your knees. We're going to do 3 back bends. Feel free to do whichever ones feel right for you. I am going to do 2 bridges, 1 full wheel. But please feel free to do what's right for you. And if you have a block, feel free to do a supported fish pose with a block under your chest. Inhale, lifting the hips up, interlacing the hands under the hips, rolling the shoulders under the chest, opening the whole front body, making sure that the legs remain parallel. Imagine you have a block between your thighs. And gently lower all the way down. Preparing to come up one more time. Inhale. Lift up as arms push against the mat to lift the hips a little higher and heart towards the roof of the mouth. Heels push back and lower back down. If you're coming for full wheel, letting go of your hands, placing the hands next to your ears. Feel free to simply skip this 3rd back bend if that's what you are feeling. Hands next to the ears. Inhale, lifting the hips up, placing the crown of the head onto the mat and pushing yourself all the way up. Pushing the hips up, pushing your heart back, making sure your arms are completely straight. Hold here 2 more breaths. Again, imagine that block. And slowly lower down from where you came from. Crown of the head and back of the head, bringing both knees into your chest. Massaging the low back. Placing the right foot over the left thigh, once again creating this figure 4. We're going to open our arms along the legs in a T, and we're going to let the knees fall, the legs fall towards the left as we look over to the right. Now we're going to wiggle that bottom leg a little back so we can look for the foot with the right hand. If it feels right. If it feels too tight, don't worry about it. Just simply twist and get the nice juiciness of these rinsing twists. If not, if you want to get a little more of a quad opener, grab the back foot. And come back up through center. Figure 4 on the other side, taking the left foot over the right thigh, letting both legs fall over to the right. Maybe looking over to the left and maybe grabbing the bottom leg with the left hand, the right leg with the left hand. Releasing wherever you are. You shouldn't feel so much tension. Just kind of surrendering, finding those qualities of Shavasana and these poses that are leading us into it. And come back through center. Last pose before we surrender completely. We're going to grab the edges of the feet or behind our knees, coming into happy baby, pulling one leg, the other, swaying from side to side. Doing as feels right. Maybe bottoms of the feet coming together as you pull the bottoms of the feet in towards you. And releasing wherever you are, lengthening the legs out towards the front of the mat, bringing your arms to your sides, palms of the hands facing up. Releasing the shoulders down, surrendering your body and breath into the stillness of Shavasana. Feel free to take as long of a Shavasana as you need. I will leave you here. Thank you for your time. Thank yourself for giving yourself the time. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Namaste.